Today I'm going to show you how to make gloves, fingerless gloves, with a nice ending on your little thumb. It's quite easy to do. It's quite a fast pattern to follow. What you're going to need, what I used here, is double knit wool. You're going to need your crochet hook, a size 4.5. Size 4.5. You're going to need your embroidered needle, and you're going to need your scissors. Let's start. We are going to start with 31 chain stitches. Now you make your slip stitch first. And then 31 chain stitches. Don't make them too tight because you're going to make some single crochet stitches in them. I'll see you when I'm done. Your next row is going to be single crochet stitches right through. So we're not making it in the first chain stitch, only in the second, and then that one counts as your first one. So it will be in total 30 single crochet stitches, and your first chain is counting as your first one. So all the way till the end. When you're done with your 30 single crochet stitches, you're going to make one chain stitch, and we're going to turn around. Now we're going to start with our pattern. We're going to make 10 single crochet stitches, but only in the back loop. Now your first chain stitch is not going to count as your first single crochet stitch, so we're going to make it the same stitch as the chain stitch. We're going to work only in the back loop, and we're going to make our single crochet stitches, 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 10. And now we're going to start with our puff stitches. You see, you only worked in the back loop, so you get that little rip look that we want for the cuff. Now in the very next stitch, you're going to work in both loops. We're going to start with our puff stitches. Now you're going to put your needle through, take some yarn over needle in the same stitch. You're going to pull up another one, yarn over your hook again, and for the third time you're going to go right in the same stitch, and then you're going to pull yarn over needle, and you're going to pull it through everything, all in the one loop. Then you've got a puff stitch. Chain 1, we're going to skip the very next stitch, and we're going to make another puff stitch in that next one. So you skip that stitch there, and we're going to hook in this stitch, pull up yarn over needle, go in for the second time in the same stitch, pull your yarn up, yarn over your needle, and for the third time you're going to go into the same stitch and pull up yarn. Make sure your tension is in all the loops the same, and you're going to pull yarn over and pull through all the loopies. Chain stitch, and the same. You're going to skip the very next stitch and go into the next one, second one. Then pull yarn through, yarn over hook, pull yarn through for the second time, yarn over your hook. For the third time you're going in, pull yarn over your hook, and pull through. We're going to continue until we get to the end of your row. You will have 10 of these puff stitches then. I'll see you there when I get there. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 puff stitches. Then I just pull through my last one. I'm going to make chain 1, and then in your very last stitch I'm going to make a single crochet into both your loops, both your stitch loops. Come on. Just a normal single crochet stitch. Now chain 1, turn your work around. In your chain, in your little single crochet of your previous row, you're going to make another single crochet stitch, and we're going to start with our loops, our puff stitches again. So in that very next one, you're going to pull up yarn over your needle hook, pull your yarn again, yarn over your needle, and again, third time, yarn over needle and pull through all your stitches. Chain 1 into your next one, pull yarn up, and your second one and your third one, pull through all, chain 1. You're going to go on until you get to your 10 puff stitches. Okay, once I completed my 10 puff stitches, we're going to do our single crochet 10 stitches, but only in the back loop to get that ribbing feeling. So in that one, only in the back loop, single crochet. 1, 9, and in your last one, number 10, chain stitch 1 and turn your work around. Now for the next 4 rows, we're just going to do single crochet stitches across the whole row, but only in the back loops. So you made your chain 1, you're going to work in your first one, across the whole row, only in the back loops. We are here at our puff stitches now. So remember, you've got your puff stitch there, only in your back loop. And then your chain stitch that you made, only in the back loop. Across the whole row. So this is your puff stitch one, your chain stitch, sorry. Your chain stitch, the previous row, and your puff stitch one, only in the back loop. And you continue until you get to the end. I completed this row until the end. I'm going to make chain 1, turn your work, and go on with chain stitches right until the end, only in the back loops. So only in the back loop of your previous row. You're going to continue with 3 more rows like this. I'll see you after that. I completed my 4 rows of single crochet stitches in the back loop, and you can see the nice pattern or the nice feel it gives to your glove. Now these 6 rows, the 2 puff stitch rows and the 4 single crochet rows, is your pattern that you're going to repeat as for the Okay, so once you're done with your puff stitch row, with your pattern rows, I made 5, and I'll show you now why. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. I test this with my hand. I put my hand and then I put it over. Now I like a glove that sits quite tight, and 5 repeats of the pattern is more than enough for me. So once you're done, you can use either side of this pattern as the right side. Both sides are the same and looks nice, so it doesn't matter. Now to work these sides together, you're not gonna complete the last rows. You're not gonna go all the way to the where you begin your rows, your pattern, where the rib is, where your arm is gonna be. You're gonna stop where your fingers are gonna be. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the sides together, and you're just gonna complete work sides together for 10 stitches, 5 puff rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be like 10. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is about 5 puff stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're just going to work it with slip stitch. So 1, and 10. Now you'll see that it's nice. Now we're gonna work on the thumb opening, but I don't like keeping it like that. You can just keep it like it is, but I like to make a nice edge. So now I'm just gonna make single crochets in the next 9 stitches. So 1, 2. If the sole is too big, we can make it smaller. I think I'm gonna make it 7. So 9, 8, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7 is more than enough. Then we can work on this side as well. Just count your 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you're gonna make a single crochet on this side, and work it around, and you're gonna make another row around with slip stitches, single crochet stitches, without completing the row. So you're just going to go straight on and go around again. Now to make it, shape it a bit, we're just going to make 6, and we're going to skip this one and we're going to go on with this just to give it a little edge there. So we're just going to skip that one and continue on this one here. And then when you get here where you started, we're just gonna go on, because now we must continue to close our little glove on the bottom here. So just go with slip stitches up to this end here, and then I'll show you how we're gonna continue, just to get your wool there. Now to get your wool here, remember we're going to turn this glove around. you can just go into this stitch in the previous row and slip stitch it there, and then there at the bottom one, going to be on this side, just a slip stitch there, and then you've got your wool there, and we can continue to close our glove. Remember to start right at the beginning, right at the edge of your glove, otherwise you're going to have a little hole there, and just continue closing your glove in each stitch. And remember, don't stop here, you've still got one stitch left here, you must go straight up to the end before you end your work, and then we're done, and then we can just end off and work our ends away. Here's your little glove ready for the winter.